The further I look into how the allegations against Marilyn Manson all started, the more I'm thinking, do you know what, you guys? Summer stinks here. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the news and true crime stories of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And yeah, hold on to your butts on this one, because guys, we are going down one major rabbit hole. I've started to look into properly now the allegations against Marilyn Manson and the whole situation surrounding him. And like I said before, the further I look into it, the further I'm thinking, yeah, something's just not right with the whole lot of it. And so, with that being said, in today's video, I'm going to be discussing really how these accusations actually came about in the first place, because that's certainly an interesting story. And to be fair, alarm bells are ringing right from the bat. What do I mean? Well, before I break it all down for you, a little bit of housekeeping. Firstly, YouTube human reviewer, I see you lurking. I'm not going to say any trigger words or anything that's going to offend your ear holes. And to everyone else awesome enough to have clicked on this video, hi, welcome. How are you doing? If you love news and true crime on the daily, served with a little bit of sass and gobbiness, which is basically this, right? Do make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And so let's jump into this, shall we? So, props, firstly, go to Colonel Kurtz, because she is the first person to actually introduce me to the Marilyn Manson allegations a few months back. So I did have a little bit of a base to work from, thanks to her giving up a little bit of her time to try and explain this web, really. So here I am now trying to feel it out and figure it out a little bit on my own. If you want to know more information, because she knows, she's like, to me, the knowledge on everything Marilyn Manson with the allegations. Link to her channel will be in the description down below. Also, as well, big shout out to this Instagram account at Stand By Your Manson, because he or she created this really, really wonderful Instagram post that breaks it all down, how these women got together. And it sounds like, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, it was a planned, orchestrated effort to take down Marilyn Manson. Stay with me on this one. So, you've got her in the situation here, who you've already will have known of in mainstream media, Evan Rachel Wood, to a certain extent as well, Esme Bianco. You've also got Ashley Walters, Ashley Lindsay Morgan, Sarah McNeely, Tori, Lainey Chantel, and Sour Girl Gabriella. Now, the Stand By Your Manson first starts out by saying Evan Rachel Wood was the first person to start pushing out information on the alleged nightmare that she says that she was in during her work on what's called the Phoenix Act, and that Esme Bianco would then be the next person to join Evan and make testimony about her alleged nightmare during the work for the same thing, the Phoenix Act. Now, what is the Phoenix Act? So, this all happened back in February 2018 when Evan Rachel Wood testified before Congress. She wanted to secure a Bill of Rights for SA survivors in all 50 states. She detailed her quote-unquote personal experiences, but without naming any names at that point. She said that my experience with DV was this. She said the toxic mental, physical, and SA, which started to slow but escalated over time, including not very nice statements against her living situation, severe gaslighting and washing of the brain, waking up to a person that claimed to love me, and essentially doing things that was not consensual in an intimate way when she wasn't aware of it. Let's put it that way. That actually was then signed into law a couple of years, just about a year, just over a year later. This was then released in October 2019. It was signed into law when California Governor Gavin Newsom signed her Phoenix Act. A lawyer said, look, Evan couldn't press any charges as the statute of limitations on the nasty situations done to her had long passed. I said, that doesn't sound right. Something's wrong. What are my options? They said, well, you can try to change the law. So inspired by that challenge, Evan Rachel Wood worked to create the Phoenix Act. The law essentially extends the statute of limitations on DV situations from 3 to 5 years, as well as requiring police officers to undergo more training on the issue of partner nastiness. Let's put it that way. So, all in all, so far, so kind of good, right? You've got well-known actress, famous in Hollywood, using her influence, using her status and her power and her money for a little bit of good, and gets this Phoenix Act signed into law. Fair enough. I can't say anything against that, okay? However, so it would be just over, what, a year and a half later, since October 2019, when that was signed into law, that then the allegations start. So, before the 1st of February 2021, Marilyn Manson hadn't been named at all, and none of the others at that stage had come forward. So, this is where a Stand By Your Manson says it gets a little bit interesting, guys. Ilma Gore, who is she? So she was being associated with Evan Rachel Wood as a very close friend. And as part of the Phoenix Act, started emailing women in regards to join a group to talk about their experiences. Now, we know this because Greta Aurora, who's also a YouTuber, and I'll link her video down below, showed in her YouTube video that Ilma Gore had tried to recruit her for a chat, and then a short time later, again, but Greta completely ignored the emails. So these are the emails that Greta showed in her YouTube video, right? The first one was dated Thursday, October the 15th, 2020. So around about the time that this Phoenix Act all of a sudden got passed, right? Interesting. Saying, hey, I know this is a strange way to reach out, but my name is Ilma. I work with the Phoenix Act, and I run it alongside Evan Rachel Wood. We were organising a group of people to meet up in Los Angeles and Zoom/Skype in to talk about experiences they had that might be similar to yours. I'm not sure that you'd be interested in participating. You aren't obliged to speak, but if you wanted to listen in, that would be fine. It's a small group and you're personally invited. If you wanted to know more first, I would be happy to jump on the phone or email more details. Now, Greta turns around and says, I ignored her backside. And that then subsequently, Ilma emails Greta again a few months later, 22nd of January, saying, hi, Greta. I'm close with Evan Rachel Wood. I want to reach out and speak to you on the phone on behalf of the Phoenix Act, and very important information, if anything, just to listen. And I believe this was January 22nd, 2021. So a week or two just before essentially the allegations are made public then against Marilyn Manson. Now, this is where I'm like, hang on a minute. This is where it starts to stink of conspiracy, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, because you've got this Phoenix Act, right? In October 2019, that Phoenix Act gets passed, right? Extends the statute of limitations from 3 to 5 years. Around about that time, either just before or just after, you then have Ilma Gore, close friend of Evan Rachel Wood, reaching out to females like Greta here, okay, saying, hey, up, want to talk about your experiences? Come join us. Yeah. I don't know. That's just like, I'm like, what? That done, to me, I'm like, really? Really? It's like trying to, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, recruit people to try and take down Marilyn Manson. In my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, that stinks of conspiracy there. See where I'm coming from? Let's continue, guys. So, moving swiftly on from that, until 2021, Greta was not known by anyone for having a romantic weekend with Marilyn Manson back in 2011. It was a total secret, and neither Manson or Greta told people about this weekend. So, how did Ilma find out and find out about Greta and think it was a good idea to email Greta in the first place to try and, again, in my opinion, conspiracy theory or whatever, recruit her to essentially try and take down Marilyn Manson, right? Again, my opinion. So when Greta met Marilyn Manson, Stand By Your Manson explains, she did so when Manson visited Austria back in January 2011 because he was doing a TV spot and announcing his art book at that time. Marilyn Manson went to Austria with his then assistant, Ashley Walters. Da-da! Third one on the list there. Ashley also met Greta, and this was Ilma Gore's direct line to Greta because Ashley Walters knew they met. So, in other words, when you come back to this list line of suspects here, there was Manson and Greta and Ashley Walters that knew about the meet between Manson and Greta, right? Manson and Greta are adamant, we told no one about the weekend between us two. The only other person that knew was Ashley Walters. So the only other person that Ilma could have got this information from to contact Greta in the first place was Ashley Walters. Dudes. So, how did Evan or Ilma contact then Ashley Walters? So, Evan knew Ashley was Manson's assistant, but Esme and Ashley are also close friends. It would be safe to assume Esme got Ashley Walters into the group. Again, as I was saying before, when you start thinking about it, it's like this concerted kind of conspiratorial effort, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, to recruit women into this group now that the statute of limitations had extended from 3 to 5 years to take down Marilyn Manson. The way that these women were all put together and set up to take down Marilyn Manson, this is where, to me, it stinks of conspiracy. But let's continue. So, February 1st, 2021, statements then start to get dropped by several women. So, Evan and Esme, they're already on the Phoenix Act team. That wasn't surprising. They made the statements and posts. Okay. But then, this is when it starts getting really surprising. Ashley Walters, his ex-assistant, also drops a statement. This is also followed by 2 other unknown women, Ashley Lindsay Morgan and also Sarah McNeely. And these 2 women known to have spent some time with Marilyn Manson, but not everyone, but by Ashley Walters. Now, let me put it this way, right? And we're just going to go here. This is like a web of how everyone is connected. Yeah? Guess who's in the middle? Ashley freaking Walters. I don't know about you guys. And like I said, I'm new to this. and I'm learning every single day more and more and more about this Marilyn Manson allegation situation. But right off the bat, I know. Like the back of my on my neck, the back of my neck, my hairs are standing up with her. There's just something not right there. She's proper in the middle and the center of it all. Now, Ashley Walters is a key member for Ilma Gore to recruit women for statements because, again, she's in the center. She knows everyone. Bar sour girl Gabriella. She needs to know someone for them to know her, but she has direct knowledge and relationships with every other woman. So yeah, for Ilma Gore, Ashley is the key. She's the center to be able then to access all the other women to join their party of sorts. So this is why the majority of the women's statements are for women who met Manson when Ashley Walters was present and the assistant. She opened a contact book and they reached out to any woman that Ashley Walters knew Manson had met between 2010 and 2011. Tori is also friends of Ashley Walters and Esme Bianco, so would it be hard to recruit her to get involved on the statement drop day? Again, they've all got close relationships, right? These aren't just strangers between each other. You've got Lainey Chantel, who's also friends of Ashley Walters, Esme Bianco and Tori. So another easy person to bring in to help further what I would actually start to believe as a smear campaign on the day the statements drop. Because again, how all this comes about, it just stinks of conspiracy, guys. It really does. This is like, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever is forced. It's like literally coercing or recruiting, in my opinion, these women to take down Marilyn Manson. The way that it's set up, it just, I just don't feel right about it, guys. There's something. Gabriella, she is someone who's not directly connected to Marilyn Manson via Ashley Walters, but Gabriella is a close friend to Lainey Chantel. So this is the person here. So Ashley Walters, as I mentioned before, she doesn't have a direct connection to Sour Girl. She has to go through Lainey to get to Sour Girl Gabriella there. But Gabriella's the close friend to Lainey Chantel, and Lainey was the one who got Gabriella and Manson to meet. Their close friendship continues, so again, it's another easy recruit in the end anyway. Now, this all starts to kind of paint a situation, guys, where this is planned. This is like building the blocks, right, upon which to try and crucify Marilyn Manson over. Like, this to me is meticulous. To locate these women, to recruit them, and then to produce an orchestrated effort of all these statements coming out, boom, 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 after the Phoenix Act is signed into law, mind you. And again, the statute of limitations goes from 3 to 5 years. Come on, guys. I'm sorry. Boy screams of conspiracy all day long, in my opinion. So, February 1st, 2021, again, that's a key date. The statements start to drop. They're done so by all these friends. And it's all about a specific period in Marilyn Manson's life when Ashley Walters knew which women he had met with, right? So these aren't just random women unknown to each other. Like you see in this diagram here, they are all freaking connected. And the person in the middle is Ashley Walters, right? Now, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, even I'll agree with this. They came together and discussed their plan of action. Ashley Walters providing names of women Marilyn Manson had met with. Ilma Gore emailing the women to join this situation, even just before or soon after this Phoenix Act is signed into law. Some respond, some didn't. Okay. But they also pulled in, you know, a few friends just to bolster the numbers, right? And then, and we'll get into statements in another video, the statements, when you look at them, the details are very identical to each other, right? I don't know. There's not enough difference between them. And we'll get into that in a later video. But this was all done starting from February 1st, 2021. Between these women that we're discussing right now. Look at that web. You just have to look at this alone. And in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, think. So, all these women are alleging that Marilyn Manson is a monster. But they're all freaking connected. There's one person in the middle that the majority are all connected to. Coincidence? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Now, here's some more evidence that Stand By Your Manson has produced in regards to the Ashley Walters connections. You know, you've got Ashley and Sarah, Tori, Ashley and Evan there, Ashley and LM, Tori and Lainey and Ashley, Esme, Ashley and Tori. You know, they were friends. Look at all these pictures here. These are friendship groups. And here's the evidence with Marilyn Manson and Ashley Walters going to Austria on January the 18th to 23rd, 2011. And this is, you know, according to Greta, when they met and Ashley was with him. This is when he did that TV spot and released his book, the art book that he was promoting at the time. And again, this is the video where you can watch Greta Aura's video, which again, I'll have in the description down below, guys. But this is the thing, right? For me, when I started to look into the allegations against Marilyn Manson, I started to get a little bit confused because there's so much information that's out there, right? So then what I did was I decided, right, just start from the beginning. Start from the beginning, find out how did this all come about in the first place? Who are the players? How did it all come out? Well, this is the video right now that I hope has explained all that. Because, guys, the way that this has all started, it stinks of conspiracy to me. And when it's starting on shaky ground like this, where they're all connected to each other, and it does feel like it is a coordinated attack against Marilyn Manson. Oh, and the icing of the cake, you know, with the Phoenix Act just being passed either or just after or before, you know, Ilma Gore starts sending those emails out. There's something wrong with that picture. Do you see where I'm coming from? Guys, I'll be doing more videos on the Marilyn Manson allegations as I continue to dig deeper and learn more about it. Again, I'll have the links to Colonel Kurtz, which again, special shout out to her for introducing me to this situation in the first place. Also as well, Greta Aura's video will be below, and the Instagram account to Stand By Your Manson as well. Make sure you follow them and tell them that I sent you. Why not? But with that being said, if you love this video and love news and true crime on the daily served with a little bit of sass and gobbiness, which is basically this, right? Do make sure you click on that subscribe button, like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until the next time, you guys, laters!